So many people have been wondering what Capcom have planned for the future of Resident Evil. I am one of those people that likes to believe that they're either working on Resident Evil 9 and that's going to be their next big release. Some other people are also saying that they're likely going to be remaking another game, and if that's the case, the game that I would love for them to remake would be Code Veronica, just because looking at that game now and how it is, it hasn't really aged too well if you ask me. But other than that, recent reports have been coming out, and we're going to be talking about IGN, and they seem to believe that Resident Evil 5 is going to be the next game in the series that's going to be remade here, which for those of you who haven't played through Resident Evil 4 Remake and just the way how that game ends and just kind of some of the changes that they added to it, it seems to suggest that yeah, it's likely to be the case. At least the way how I like to see it with RE4 Remake is they actually kind of made it connect a little bit more with 5. So that's at least something pretty cool. I won't go into any more details other than that, but because I don't want to go into spoilers of that if you really do want to play it. But whatever is next in this franchise, I know that I'm very excited, but now a lot of talks have been going around stating that if RE5 is the next game to be remade, it's gonna have to change a lot of the game apparently, just because of, and according to the main thing that IGN posted here, and I quote, being racist. I know this topic can be very not so YouTube friendly, especially when talking about topics regarding race. So that's kind of why this topic is something that I've never really wanted to come across back then, because this discussion about Resident Evil 5 and it being racist has been honestly a thing that's been going on since, honestly, I want to say since the game's original launch back in 2009, I believe. It's just always been a talk there for some reason, stating that RE5 could potentially be racist. What I do want to say right now, and what I want to make it really clear here in this video, is that Resident Evil 5 is not racist. A lot of that these articles have been stating about is due to the fact that this game takes place in Africa, and in this game you also play predominantly as a white male shooting at dark-skinned people, and that is kind of what makes it racist. But they clearly have never played this game or even understood the reason and plot of the game. So I just want to point, another thing that I also just want to point out here as well is that you also can play as a dark-skinned female character yourself named Sheva, but people just like to forget about that and just kind of make that go over their head, I guess. If you follow the lore of Resident Evil, this is also where Umbrella and basically all these types of viruses originated. The Stairway of the Sun is the name of the flower and is native to West Africa, and Umbrella uses this flower to help create different variants of the diseases we see in this franchise. That's just kind of a quick layman's way to just do a quick recap of it. There's of course more detail than just it being just the flower, but you know, this is where the whole thing originated and kind of the cause of a lot of things. The way how I see this setting and just how this game, just Resident Evil 5 in general in a way, it's kind of how that saying goes, coming in full circle. You know, you're playing as the main character, Crest Redfield, who has been one of the main characters since the very first game that released back on the original PlayStation 1. Not only that, you also get to deal with and finally, I guess, spoiler alert here for a pretty old game, kill Wesker, who has also been basically a villain since the original Resident Evil game as well. So, like I mentioned, it's that whole coming in full circle type thing. It's not like this game is about Chris, a new white male protagonist going to Africa, just wanting to kill everyone here all willy-nilly due to him being, let's just say, very heartless. Even then, the people that he is attacking here are infected with a virus that makes them very dangerous and hostile towards him and Sheva. And let's just be real here. If you were being attacked by someone infected with a virus, or even just not infected with anything at all, if they were just running to you, wanting to take your life or just do some form of harm to you, you're damn right you're gonna go ahead and fight in that situation and do anything to survive. I mean, it's kind of engraved in our brains, called the fight or flight response. It's our instincts. That's what will kick in these types of situations, and that's how we're programmed to do. So adding the race card here to Resident Evil 5 in that regard, for me, I just find it ridiculous. And not only that, it's just a video game. Like, it's not that deep. So I don't know why people are just making it out to be this big thing where race is involved here. it's just pretty ridiculous if you ask me. But people who believe these articles have never played Resident Evil 5 do not understand that there is a reason why it takes place in Africa, and also a reason why our main character is here. He isn't just there for some ill intent. I've heard people have discussions in this topic in the past, like I mentioned, and I wanted to make a video back then about that, but I just kind of decided not to, as again, this topic is pretty somewhat sensitive. But IGN recently revived this discussion again, and honestly at this point I'm surprised that IGN is still seen as a credible news source for gaming, but that can be its own video in the future. For now, don't listen to these dumb reports, and I strongly believe that Resident Evil 5 is not racist. RE5 does not need to do any form of big change up or anything. If anything, what they really need to do, if they are going to remake Resident Evil 5, Capcom that is, they should just do exactly what they've been doing for Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 remake, and just go ahead and add that whole gameplay mechanic into 5, but add co-op to it. That will literally be the best thing ever. And other than that, I don't think they really had to do anything else to make a great game much better, I guess. But that's just gonna be it for me, guys. I just wanted to make this quick video talking about this whole thing just because I find this whole topic to be ridiculous. Again, it's just a video game. It's not that deep. Don't listen to what these other reports have been saying, and just anything really in general when it comes to Resident Evil 5. It just drives me insane that we even have to have this discussion in general. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.